We're here at Igel DISRUPT23 in Nashville, Tennessee, and I have the pleasure of having Terry Vaughn with me from VMware.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about your role at the company?
So I've been with VMware, it'll be 9 years next month, and it's going to be my last year, because as you may have heard on the keynotes from, or talking to Jed, I'm retiring sometime this year. But I've been here, I came as a part of the acquisition. When I was at Dell, I owned the relationship with Desktone, which was a desktop as a service platform that VMware acquired. So I came over shortly after that acquisition. So it's been 9 years. I was the sole business development person at one time, and now I work on a team of 12 or 13 people around the world. I support our largest customers in North America, as well as I own go-to-market for Microsoft jointly and AWS workspaces. So.
Well, you talk about desktop as a service. What's your vision of desktop as a service?
It's a broad definition. Desktop as a service means a lot of things to a lot of people, all the way from my device as a service in my building. People are trying to get out of doing the work themselves and they outsource it. All the way to Cloud PC and what Scott Manchester at Microsoft has built with Windows 365. It's basically just a desktop, running in the cloud. And then there's lots of combinations. We have a desktop as a service platform. You basically buy the virtual machine, buy the desktop, or buy the app at a time. But we also interface with the Microsoft solutions as well as the AWS solutions. So desktop as a service has a very broad remit. It's not a product on a given cloud, and it's primarily trying to get people the capability of leverage the cloud with the hyperscalers.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to more about the user experience, right? That creating that seamless environment where your desktop is just your desktop. You don't really care where it comes from, right?
I've been in the environment that this thing called VDI and a virtual desktop was, pardon my French, one of the dumbest things that I ever got connected to 15 years ago. And then a peer of mine at Dell, who now works for VMware as well, it's about the apps. Like at the end of the day, no one runs a desktop. Just like you don't run Android and you don't run iOS, you just click and run apps. In fact, that was our announcement today at Disrupt, because we can support everybody with the apps technology that we have today, and that is key. The desktop is just a vehicle to use your apps.
And maybe you can go into a little more depth about the announcement that you guys talked about today.
Yeah, we actually announced, and there's guys doing the technical boot camp right now, which are actually demonstrating our ability to have our apps technology, which is a, historically we had apps layering, we had app DNA, we had Softricity, and we had all these mechanisms to be able to put something between the operating system and the user, and or those applications. It made it very difficult, and quite frankly, it didn't work. Now, VMware's Apps on Demand is a Windows function. It attaches the application as a disk in real time, eliminating storage. You can think if you have 1,000 users today, you know how big Adobe is?
Right.
It's 3 gig.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have that in the image. That's 1,000 times 3 gig. Now, with our technology running in Windows 365 or AVD, soon AppStream, or any of the VMware products, that's one copy of Adobe that 1,000 people get to use, and it's attached real time. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's powerful.
We've all tried to solve that problem. It also leads to less infrastructure from a server perspective or on the hyperscalers as well. So the customer wins, the end user wins. A whole lot of people win in this conversation.
And maybe you can tell me a little bit about how you guys partner with Igel.
Well, first of all, Jed's phenomenal, as everybody said on stage. I happen to know him. His last presentation was about the solution providers or the services partners. I met him in Cleveland when he was at MPC. And my boss has known him since both of their days at Citrix. or Jed was at PC. He's just a phenomenal marketing mind. He's got the ability to see much further than a lot of other people. The way that he runs his company, it's something that's contagious, and you want to be connected to that. I believe they have the thinnest, most secure endpoint, and I believe that no one needs to be running a desktop because everybody's on network. I believe that people need to leverage their technology and consume less power and save the trees, plant some trees on the planet. So I'm all about that. And so it's very easy to like Igel and like Jed. I believe in the culture of their company, and I believe in the technology that they have. In fact, we've got a session tomorrow for our business development, engineering, product management people to sit down with joint customers and ask them what they want the next version of VMware and Igel to look like.
And I guess lastly, where can people go if they want to find out more information about how you're working together with Igel?
So right now we have a QR code at our booth, and we have this available in all of our presentations and stickers to go to Apps on Demand, and all of our partners are going to be linked on there, the services partners that you had there. With respect to Igel, we're still working through that process. I think we're going to have the customer roundtable tomorrow, and we'll get a lot of input on what does it need to look like. But I think it's the first time in a couple of years that we're going to have some fast action with the Igel team based on the brainstorming session that we had with leaders, and look forward to it.
Great. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and thanks for being part of VMblog's coverage of Igel Disrupt.
Hey, Disrupt, it's all about yes. Thank you. Have a great day.